Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Afia. If this is the first time that you're coming onto this channel, please make sure you subscribe and please make sure you click the bell button so that you can be notified when I have a new video out. Okay, so this is Christmas time, Vlogmas and whatever. I'm trying to get some videos out. I'm studying for my exams, which are in January. I have 8 exams, so I'm gonna try really hard to give you guys some videos, and I would really appreciate it if you guys like, if you guys comment, if you guys share. Yeah, so let's get into this video. So this is gonna be a story time. I do get quite a lot of questions about how is it finding apartments in Bulgaria. Could you find me an apartment? People have emailed me, have messaged me on Instagram, just asking me these questions and in my videos. So I decided to do a story time about my experience over here with apartments, which has been horrible. So far, this apartment that I'm in right now is the best apartment, but I have had quite an experience, and I'm just gonna go through it with you guys. I know there's some, I guess, Bulgarians that anytime someone has a video about Bulgaria, they come in the comments, the one I hate, the one that... Okay, this is my experience. This is what I have experienced personally. To me, Afia, this is my channel. I'm giving my experience. So let's just start. So the first apartment, I've lived in 4 apartments in the space of 4 years, not by choice, but because I had to move 4 times. So I'm just gonna start from the beginning, and then the last place that I moved from to be here, that was the worst place ever, but I'll start from the very beginning. So when I came here in 2016, I had a friend that was here, and I asked her to look for apartments for me so that would just make it easier when I got here. So she was able to find an apartment, which seemed okay because it showed her pictures. I think she went there as well. It seemed okay, from what you can see in person, on the surface, everything seemed fine. We paid for deposit, and in this country you have to pay like 3 months rent at the beginning. So you pay for so first of all you pay for the 1 month's rent that you're gonna be there, then you pay for deposit, and then you pay for a commission as well. So if someone, they have agencies that are connected to these landlords, so you have to pay the agency fee. So that's the agency fee is 1 month's rent, the month that you're moving in, that rent, and then the deposit, so that's 3 months rent. So there's a lot of money being made in this place on apartments. So what happened was, she got me that place. It seemed good in person, it seemed okay, on the surface. When I moved in, I went there, there was so many issues with the place. So first and foremost, it hadn't been lived in so long. So basically it was this guy and I think his mom or his wife, I don't know, but there was a grandma next door, and then I was given the house, the room kind of house. I had 1 room, I had the living room, I had the kitchen, and I had the toilet. I had all of that to myself, but it hadn't been lived in about 10 plus years. So the place was, first of all, it was dusty, but it was cold. So I came in February, the place was cold, and they were there was no central heating, which is a problem as well in Bulgaria. They don't seem to have central heating. So he had given me heaters. So I had was it 2 or 3 heaters that he had given me, and I had them near my bed, and it was so cold, I would freeze. It was so cold. And he was the landlord, he was oh, it's gonna be cold, no one has lived here for ages, but just try and just keep it on. So I had these heaters on like all night, and it's not even good to have heaters on all night, but it was still really cold. I used to sleep with like, I had so many like layers and everything. Oh my god. And then I had my friend Ola, so she lived in another place, so I used to go to hers like all the time because I was like, it's cold in this place. So apart from the fact that it wouldn't like warm up because it not been lived in so long, I also had the issue of the fridge and the freezer that had also not been touched in years. So like, even though every time I used to clean it, it still had that smell, like that mold smell, and that like it's been closed for so long. I cleaned it so many times, but it had that stench. And then so it was just weird cooking, putting stuff in the fridge and stuff in the freezer. I just didn't want to, like. And then in the toilets as well, the toilet seat, it was like coming off. There were so many issues. The oven as well, like it was really like needed a lot of cleaning because it hadn't been touched in so many years. I cleaned it so many times, but it was still, there was so many issues. So I took like loads of pictures and I sent it to my parents of like the issues. The floor like used to creak as well, so it wasn't really stable, and they were like, you need to get out. You need to leave. So I lost all that money, so I had to leave. So I was there for less than a month. Like I could not even stay. I was there for less than a month. So then I moved in with my friend Ola, and we were in the same year and everything. So we got this place that was actually quite a good price for both of us, which was really good. And that place was good for the time being. Our landlord was good for the time being. The problem now arose. My friend Ola decided that she didn't want to pursue medicine anymore. She didn't want to do it anymore. She wanted to go back to the UK. So I had lived there for like 1 semester. So we moved in about February, March. So around June, July, she decided that she didn't want to do it anymore. And I couldn't pay for 2 people to live. Like I could not, because I had already paid another 3 months rent to move into this place again. So it was just sad, but I had to leave. I had to get out because I didn't have any other person to, there was no one else I wanted to move in, and I didn't want a stranger to move in, and I was just tired. I just wanted to get a place by myself. So what I did was I moved out. I actually left my stuff in my friend's house over the summer, and then when we came back in the winter, I had to look. In the September time, I had to look again. I was looking for apartments up and down. Then we finally found a place. I call it the White House. Everything was white. You guys, if you go back to my old videos, you will see that I used to do videos. I loved that place. I loved because I had a room. I had a living room that was big enough, and it had, everything was white in that living room. I was able to do my videos there. I really like that place. This is the real issue, okay? So the problem with that house, I had issues with there was no central heating again, so it was really cold in the winter, and I had like these little ACs. I've got one here as well that, you know, if it's making noise, that's what it is. So it was cold, and I used to like, I wasn't even there. Like I used to go to the library every day because the library was so warm, and I was like, listen, I'm not gonna stay at home and be cold and be freezing. But I used to get like bills of like £150 for a month. Like it was so bad. I was like, why is it I'm not really here that much? I'm only here in the nights, in the evenings, and it's saying that I'm using so much electricity. So that was an issue itself. The next issue that I had that actually pushed me to leave that place, because I don't think I would have left, because I really liked the aesthetics and it was just cute. This is actually crazy. So one day we had gone to CU, which is like our Wednesday kind of Bible study type of thing. So I went to church in the evening, and then it was one of our friends' birthdays, so we went to Colombiana for like a dinner. So I got home and my phone was like about to die because, you know, iPhones. And I was putting my key in and it wasn't, my key, I was putting it in and it wasn't opening. I was thinking my key was not going in. I was like, what the hell's going on? Like, and I was thinking, why is it not working? So I couldn't put my key in and I was a bit confused. So I had my phone and I put the light on. You know how you can switch on the flash on iPhones? I put the light on. I was trying to see what was going on, and I realized there was something stuck where my key is supposed to go, so my key could not go in. And I was so confused. I was like, what? I was like, is someone in my house? Like, what is going on? And I had two neighbors, so I kind of rang the bell, like, you know, no one answered. So I was like, okay, cool. My phone died. At the worst time, my phone had died. So what I did was I walked from my house all the way to Taya's house, and that was like a 20-minute walk. I just walked to her house because, like, I didn't know what to do. I was like, I was in shock, but you know, you just have to keep moving, right? So I went to her house and I rang the bell, and she was like, when she rang the bell, she was like, who is it? I was like, it's me. And she was like, because we had made no plans to see each other. I had just turned up at her house. So she opened the door and I was like, I need like tweezers. I need to charge my phone. I need like tweezers. There's something wrong with my house. She was like, what's going on? I was like, there's something in my door. And she was like, what? So we got the tweezers from her house, charged my phone a little bit, went to my place, and it was like a toothpick, but like a bigger size. So it had been lodged in and I couldn't get in. So it was like they were trying to prevent me from going into my house. So we had to take it out. I was really scared because I was like, what? So at first I thought someone was in my house, you know, they're trying to do something, trying to steal or whatever. So that night I slept with a chair like literally hooked to my door, so that if anyone was to come in, they couldn't come in because I was scared. And I was like, what's going on? We thought, hey, what's going on? Like, just maybe it was just a one-time thing. It happened 3 more times. So this happened for 4 times. I'll come, it's not like every other day, like literally I'll go to uni, I'll be okay, and I'll come one day and I'll see it again, then I'll go to uni, I'll come. So it happened like 3-4 times. It happened 4 times actually. So right now at this point I was carrying tweezers in my bag. I was carrying, like, that was not normal, and I didn't know what to do. So I went to the student office at uni and I told them about it, and they were like, yeah, so basically you have to go to the police. So I went to the police and, you know, spent forever, and they were like, oh, you know, we're gonna come to your house and see. We were there for ages. They weren't really very helpful. So they came in unmarked vans, which I thought was very stupid. I felt like, if you're gonna come and scare whoever's doing this, come in a police car, let them know that the police is here trying to sort this issue out. So they came in and the police guy went from the floor to try and talk to people to find out what's going on. Obviously no one knew anything, no one said anything. He said no one knew anything, no one said anything, and there was nothing they could do because no one is saying anything, no one's knowing anything. So they said if I wanted to like install a camera, I'll have to do that on my own, or my landlord will have to do it, all these things. I was just so confused, like, why would you do that? Why would someone just come and, you know? And I spoke to my landlord and he was saying that, oh, they're probably just playing with you. And I was thinking, that is not a joke. That is not a joke. That is not something that anyone would play about. That's my safety. Anything can happen. If you know exactly, sorry guys, my voice is broken. If you know exactly what door I live in and you're doing this to me whenever you feel like it, this is a safety problem. So you know exactly where I live and you have an issue with me, or you feel like you can control my life, you can, because I couldn't get in if that thing was in the door, so I couldn't get into my house. And then even when I'm in my house, I'm scared because they can lock me from the outside. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes when I used to come in, because obviously it was like a big apartment building, all the Bulgarians were staring at me, like, and I was the only black person in that building. So thankfully somebody at the student union, Vlera, she was such a nice lady. I told her what was happening, and she wrote in Bulgarian like, the police is watching, if you do this again, what's it called, the police is watching you and everything. So she put something like that, and I put it on my door just so that people would stop doing that. And it worked for a little while, but then they did it again. And at this point I was just over it, because I just felt very unsafe, very uneasy, very uncomfortable, and it was very obvious that it was a racist attack, because I was the only black person in that building. And even when I asked, there was this day, oh my god, that it happened, where I hadn't, you know, the day, I think it was like the second time it happened, I didn't have all the stuff, and I thought, you know, this was just a one-time thing, until I knew that they were actually targeting me personally, because how did it happen to me, only me, all these times? So the second time that it happened, I was at home by myself. I had to like go up, I went up to different floors. So I was on the 3rd floor, I think. I went to different floors, and I was just ringing the bus if anyone was at home. No one was at home on my floor. Went up, then I found this guy, and I told him, you know, I have an issue with my door. He came, he saw it, he was so confused, and he was just like, what is going on? And he was a Bulgarian, and he went and found something, and he helped me to open my door. My camera went off, so yeah, so the neighbor helped me to open my door. I was just so like upset by everything that was going on, because it's like, this is your house, like, and I'm getting emotional, and I'm not gonna cry on camera, okay? No, that's gonna happen, no. So I went through that. When it happened again, I think it was like the 5th time it had happened, I was just like, no, I need to leave, because I'm not secure in my house, I'm not safe, my landlord's not doing anything. And to make what matters worse, so me and Taye, who's my housemate and my friend, she wanted to move as well, so we started looking for places. That's where we found, able to find my landlord, able to find this place that we're in now. The first time we came in here, it was such a nice place, and we still really like it. We met my landlord, and he was just so nice. We had prayed, because I was like, God, I want a good landlord, because prior to me moving from that place, I had issues with my landlord as well. So what happened was, I was gonna move, so I already said, okay, I'm gonna move in, I think it was July. I was gonna move, and he was like, you're gonna have to pay me before you move. And I said, normally what happens is, if you leave, say I'm leaving in July and I'm leaving on the 1st or the 2nd, it doesn't make sense for me to pay the rent when you have my deposit already. You can use the deposit to cover that rent, so you have to give, because most times they don't give you back, they just tell you, like, give you stories as to why you can't get your deposit back, and they come up with lies, they come up with, you know, things to try and, like, you know, lie on you. So that's what he was saying. And then we were studying for our exams, and that was the semester that we had anatomy, physiology and biochemistry, that I had the most issue with physiology. So we were going through so much at that time. So he came into my apartment with goons, and he was like, he came in the first time, and he was like, I'm gonna come for rent. And I was just saying, I'm leaving, there's no point in me giving you rent when I'm leaving, because you're not going to give my deposit back. And he was like, going to get it back. And I'm like, you're not, because even the way you're acting now, it just seems like you're shady. And then he knew about what had happened. I said, I'm leaving because of what has happened, otherwise I will still be here. I have never not paid rent on time, I've never not paid rent to you, I always pay rent. And then they spoke Italian, so we could understand each other, the wife. And she was saying that, oh, you know, those guys that were putting the stuff in your door, they were just playing with you, they just wanted to flirt with you, no one wants to rape you, they just want to play with you, but you're acting. And I was so confused. I was like, they wanted to play with me, that is not a joke. And talking about, oh, you're scared they're gonna rape you, I was so felt shook. I was like, what? And that was when I said, you know what, I'm leaving this place ASAP. I'm ready to go ASAP. So we found this new landlord. He was amazing. The first day we met, we kind of just clicked. So we were all like, we really got on. He speaks really good English. We even have a WhatsApp group. Like, he's just, from the get-go, we're like, thank you God, this guy seems like a really good person. And coming from the situation that I was coming from, I needed someone that was a good person because I was just done so wrong. So that's what happened. Even to move into here, he came with his car and he helped me to take all my stuff out from that apartment to this apartment. And normally they don't do that. He just helped me to just bring everything across, and that was amazing. My old landlord, what they tried to do is, obviously the second time he came around, he brought goons, like, I'm coming, and they were like these big men, and he came with them and everything. And obviously I already took out my rent to pay anyways, because I was like, I'm not going to be fighting with a landlord when I have exams pending, because we had exams like literally, it was such a horrible semester. Because what happened was, I failed anatomy. This camera keeps dying and I'm over it. So I had literally failed anatomy, but then we had exams coming up, and our exams were like within 1 week of another, and my landlord was like, if you don't leave within the next 2 days, you need to pay rent. And I had exams, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna pay the rent, because I can't not study for my exam, because I have to pack this whole house up and leave like immediately. And he was harassing me and threatening me that he was gonna bring people. So the second time he came with like big men, and I was thinking, what did you want to do to this, you know, little girl, like this little black girl, this 5'6" girl? What were you gonna do with these big men? Are you gonna come and beat me up? Like, I was just so confused, and I was like, oh my God, like, there's so many landlords in this place that pretend to be nice, obviously, because they want you to get their apartments, but after, they're really evil people and wicked, and they don't care, they don't give a damn about you. If you die today, they don't care about you. They will not do anything to help you. So he came and I gave him his rent, obviously, but that was the end of it. I left that place, and me and Taya moved into here, and we also had to move, really. So after the first exam, we moved after anatomy, I think, we moved my stuff here. Then after physio, we moved her stuff here. We moved, it was crazy, but I just had to leave that place, because, and it was so sad, because that house was so pretty and it was so nice, and it was close to uni. I literally could get to uni in 6 minutes. And you know, when you're going to uni and you don't want to wake up early and stuff, 6 minutes is good. It's a good time. Just get it quick. So that was the issue. That was what happened. And this landlord, Radostin, he saved the day, thank God. And I think also because we really did pray that, God, please give us a nice person, like a good person, like, and he really is amazing. You guys probably see him this Christmas. We're probably gonna go to Sofia together soon. And I tried to make him do a video with me, but he's so shy. He's like, oh, I don't want to do it because I'm shy. But I will get him in a video. You watch. But yeah, that's how I had the police involved. My parents were scared. I was scared as well, because, and the thing is, I had to pay like, literally, I have spent close. How much did I actually spend? Yeah, I have spent close to £2,000 on apartments, like literally just the first month, because you have to pay 3 months at once, and I have moved 4 times. This is the 4th apartment I'm in, so that's a lot of money. That's a lot of cash loss. So this is the story time. It's not a cute, fun, positive story time. It was a really sad one. But yeah, that's what I went through, and it was really, really sad. And whoever those people were that were like really messing with me in that place, making me feel unsafe, uncomfortable, that wasn't cool. That wasn't cool at all. And it's like sometimes when you're in a different country, and this place obviously is white populated, and being a black person, you feel like you're targeted most times. You get looks, you get stares, and for this to happen in my home, that was crazy. That was crazy because I literally don't have any like ill feeling towards anybody. Like I just mind my own business. Like another thing as well was that we had a CU meeting at my house, like a Friday meeting at that place. And I remember somebody saying, because my landlord was like, oh, they said you had a party. And that was funny because it was just a CU meeting, and we did it at mine. It was like a Bible study, so we like literally just read the Bible, just prayed, and just went our way. So I don't know if because I had that people coming over, they were angry, and they thought we made, because there's an issue in Bulgaria where they don't want international students to breathe. Like if you live in an apartment, they usually say, oh, no movement after 10, no talking, no breathing, no. What? It doesn't make sense. I'm paying to live in this place, and I'm paying more than you. So yeah, it just feels sad sometimes that just because of the color of your skin, people act weird towards you. And living here, it's not easy. And this is so funny because everyone that I've told that knew what had happened, because people were like, why are you moving again? After that place, and I had to be like, yeah, because I'm not safe because of ABC. And people were like, whoa, this has actually not happened to anybody else. But I was the only black person in that whole building. It's not an isolated incident in this place. When we go out, literally, even when we went to Pleven, people just stare like all the time, mind your business, and sometimes it's like, you know what, it's crazy. And when someone does something, like, you can stare all you want, but you're not doing anything bad to someone. But when you go further and you harm them in one way or another, then that's crazy. But yeah, that's the end of my story time. I'm gonna end it here. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe, leave your comments down below. If anything like this has happened to any of you, let me know. But yeah, this is one of the bad things about living here, one of the cons, one of the problems. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you in my next video.